Hi, this is Ron McCarty. This video is to explain Lightroom Collections and a little bit of background before we get into actually what Lightroom Collections can do for you. As part of the Rowlett Photography Photo Club, we have regular photo contests, which are basically series of photography. The idea being that a contest or a photo challenge goes over several weeks, and the photographers go out and take pictures and then upload the pictures to a Facebook group, or in particular an album in a Facebook group, for their friends and peers to review at and enjoy together. One of the challenges for series photography is how to manage them. This is especially a problem if you're not using the digital assets management program, because you're having to either remember where photos are stored in a particular directory on your hard drive, or you're moving files around on your hard drive based upon what they're being used for any particular series or project. So Lightroom actually has a concept of collections, and what collection does is it allows you to create basically photo albums based upon the criteria that you choose. So before we jump into seeing how we actually do that within Lightroom, let's actually just take a look at the concept of collections. Before we do that, though, we need to step back even one step further and actually look at what and how Lightroom stores files or pictures on the hard drive. So if you take a look here on the right side of the screen, you actually you have your hard drive or your disk drive, which I've marked here, and then on your disk drive you actually have directories. You may have one or more directories. A lot of folks like to sort their photos by date, which is the way I do it. So that basically means that I have a hard drive, and then I have a photos directory, and then within the photos directory I have years, for example 2015, and then within 2015 I have the months. 2015-01, for example, would be January. So that's the basic idea behind directory structures, and that's basically how you have to store photos. That's basically the way a computer works. However, that's not very flexible when you want to create albums or collections that have different photos in them. So Lightroom has this concept of collections, and basically what a collection allows you to do is assign a photo to a collection. For example, here I have collection A, and you'll notice that it actually has my photo 1 and photo 2 in collection A. However, the collection is not limited to that. My collection B also has a pointer to that photo 2, and it also has a pointer to photo 3. So that's the real advantage that a collection has. It doesn't matter how you store your photos on your hard drive. It allows you to create this collection that you can then manage the way you see fit. Now, also, Lightroom has a concept of a hierarchy or a collection set for collections, and basically what that means is that you can have a directory structure, if you will, although it's really not a directory on your hard drive, but a set that actually contains multiple collections. For example, collection A and collection B here. It also contains two collections, which I just didn't name for the purpose of this video, but that could be collection C and collection D. Now, how do we apply this theory to our 6-week window photography contest that is currently going on? This question came up from one of our members, Tom. His question was actually twofold. One was, can Lightroom publish directly into an album, or into an album within a Facebook group? And the software I use, or the plugins I use, actually will not support that feature. So I'm really not going to answer that question here. But the second part of that question, or the gist of that question, is how do you manage this chaos during a photo series? And so basically, using our 6-week example here, this actually breaks it down visually for you on how to do that. So for example, the outer rectangle represents a collection set, a photography collection set, and then each of the rectangles inside actually represent a collection. So we'll have a collection name week 1, a collection name week 2, week 3, and so on. And then within each one of those collections, we actually have 3 pictures. This particular photo contest calls for 3 pictures, but it really doesn't matter. You can put as many or as few pictures as you'd like. And in our particular situations, those will be unique. In other words, this picture here will not appear in week 1, but the collections do not. There's nothing in Lightroom that prohibits you from doing that. And so basically, you have 6 weeks of photos stored in 6 specific collections within a collection set. So let's jump into Lightroom. Let's show how that's actually set up within collection sets, within collections and collection sets. So in Lightroom, you actually have to be in your library module, as I showed here, as I've got shown here. And then on the left-hand panels, on the left-hand panel, you'll see 3 tabs here. You have folders, which you're used to working with. This is where you actually import your pictures into Lightroom, and this is where they're stored on the hard drive. But you'll also have this tab here called Collections, and this is where the work for collection sets and collections are actually set up. And the basic steps to create a collection and collection set is first to set up your collection set. So let's go ahead and do that. So I click here on the plus and I hit Create Collection Set. I failed to mention, but these collections are actually sorted alphanumerically. That means that they're alphabetically sorted, but numbers will come at the top. So just so it makes it easy for this video, I'm actually going to start this by naming it 0 dash, and then I'm going to call it 6-week window photography. And I don't want to put this inside of another collection set, so I'm going to leave that blank, and then I hit Create there. And so now I have this collection set, but within this collection set I actually want to set up to 6 weeks in particular. So I click on that, and then I hit Create Collection. And then I'm going to click on week 1. That's how I'm going to name it. In this particular case, I do want this within this collection set. We're not going to worry about these 2 options right here. These are advanced options. One concerns you can actually set Lightroom up so that when you tag a particular photo, it will auto-magically appear in that collection. And then there's also a way to set up a collection so that it will actually sync with Lightroom Mobile. For the purposes of this video, neither are important. Neither of those 2 are important. So let's go ahead and create that, and then let's just do the same thing again. Create collection, and then week 2. Create, and I'll do one more. We don't need to set up all 3 for the video. And then week 3. And the first time you do this, it's a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you can do this in 20 or 30 seconds typically. And so now let's go back to my folders here, and I'm just going to go to the current date, and just to give an example, I'm going to pick my 3 stars out of this. As I mentioned earlier, this would actually be the 22nd of January 2015, and I just highlighted my 3 stars here. And so let's actually, so I've got those open in my film strip at the bottom. So now let's just go back to collections. And then let's just for the purposes, I'm just going to put 1 in each one. So I'm going to put that in week 1. I'm going to put that in week 2. And then I'm going to put that in week 3. And then so, as you see here, we can go to week 1. And that's the only photograph in there, week 2. So, as you see, I have a way here to manage the chaos of series of pictures over a period of time where I really need to keep them grouped together, not how they're stored on the hard drive. However, if you do need to figure out where they're at, if you, for example, let's say I look at this grass picture and I decide I'd really like to consider re-editing some of the other pictures I took of the grass, I can actually go down here on the picture and right-click on it and go to the folder and library. So it's relatively easy to get back where you are, and then I'll simply click on that 3, and now I'm back in the folder structure as you've seen here. So hopefully that'll help you managing your series photographs. You can also use collections for all kinds of other things. Enjoy. Happy shooting.